I had gotten a motorcycle. I've been wanting one for a very long time. I was so excited. And so, every opportunity that I had, I was out riding this thing. At that time of the year, at that point in my life, I was kind of having like a little bit of a rough time. And riding actually kind of like helped. It was one of the few things that I could do by myself that just kind of, it could take my mind off things. And one day I had, I didn't have to be anywhere for a few hours. I'm just going to find a road and I'm just going to ride, just to, again, take my mind off things. I didn't know the road very well, and there's a little bit of gravel, so I was going slower, well within both me and the bike's abilities. I was only probably doing like 45-ish, somewhere in there. But the thing about it, there was like brush on either side of the road. So I came around this one left-hand curve. Once I hit the apex, there was a dog in the middle of the road, and she probably weighed 100 pounds or more. I did my best to, try and avoid anything happening because I knew I wasn't going to be able to go over her. So I tried to swerve to her left, to go around her, but she followed me that way. So I did my best to brake. You can't really brake in a curve on a motorcycle. It doesn't really work. Your tires will lock up and you'd end up braking anyway. But I did my best. But I couldn't brake hard enough. I went off the right side of the road, kind of straight from the direction I came. And one way or another, my bike ended up probably 25 to 30 feet off the road, and I was another 7 to 10 somewhere in there. I don't actually remember what happened in there. I just remember my bike kind of going off the road and then me getting up. But as soon as it happened, I got up and I picked my bike up and I just leaned against it for a second, took my helmet off and, made sure I knew what all was going on, just gathered myself for a second. There was a guy there though, and I assume it was his dog because he was saying like, "Hey Vicky, come here," getting her attention and stuff, getting her away from me. And he went, "Hey, are you okay?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, I'm not dead, dying. I don't have any, compound fractures at this point. So I think we're okay. I'm good enough." And then from that point, he had the audacity to come at me and say that this accident was all my fault and not his dog's. He said, "Well, you were going a little faster on that corner there." And I said, "No, I wasn't. I was actually just fine." And he said, "I don't know. I saw you come around there. It was pretty quick." And I said, "No. It was doing just about the speed limit." And he said, "Well, the speed limit's 45 and that's too quick." Yeah, people come through here in their bikes and their cars and they just think they can take it so fast. And I said, "Okay, whatever." Because I just had tumbled 40 feet. I didn't have the energy to sit here and argue with this guy. Anyway, I was like, "Okay, thanks for checking on me though. I'm good enough. Thanks. I'll get a hold of someone." And, he left after that. And my parents got there. Well, we went to go to the ER just to get me kind of checked out. And when I went to stand up, I actually couldn't put any weight at all on my right ankle, on my left. And so we had no idea what was up with that. My chest kind of hurt. So we didn't know what was going on. It all ended up being okay. There's nothing wrong with my chest, neck, head. And then I just sprained my ankle real bad. So all in all, I think I made out pretty lucky.